Good evening and welcome to the Taste for Giving Gala. My name is Joy Blang and I am the Executive Director of Philanthropy for Episcopal Retirement Services. Tonight's event is all about food, and I think food has become more important to nearly all of us than it has in a really long time as we've navigated our way through this pandemic. For some, like our affordable living residents and those receiving Meals on Wheels, just accessing food has been a huge challenge for basic nutrition and sustenance. For others of us feeling alone and isolated so many times, it's really served as a source of comfort, entertainment, and a reason to connect with others. I think of last Thanksgiving when so many of us literally had a laptop sitting right on our dining room table, and we had Thanksgiving the best way we could through the screen on Thanksgiving. So today we will be telling the story of ERS and the Good Samaritan Mission through the lens of food. And speaking of technology and staying connected, thank goodness we have it. Who would have thought 2 years ago how much we would rely on looking through our computer screens just to see the faces and talk to the people that we love and care about and work with the most. But I do feel that in many ways, we are craving intimate moments maybe more than ever as a result. So that's why we have taken this approach to the gala this year of sitting around the dining room table. Much like so many of you are doing right now, do every night, we will be sharing our past year, our hopes, our dreams, celebrating our triumphs and talking about some of our struggles, and conveying our gratitude for one another and including you. So as we look through the television lens at all of you out there, we're really not thinking of looking at a camera, we're really thinking of that fifth chair being pulled up at our table. And we want you all to know that there is always a place at the ERS table for you. So I'm excited to introduce my special guest co-hosts. We have a wonderful group here this evening. We have some very familiar faces and some newer faces we're excited to introduce. So let's start out with a familiar face. Our very own President and CEO, Laura Lamb. Laura, welcome. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and maybe what you're looking forward to this evening?
Oh, I'd love to, Joy. Thank you. I have served as president and CEO since 2017, but I'm no stranger to ERS. I started as an intern in 1994. I'm raised in Cincinnati, grew up in Cincinnati area, raised my family in Pleasant Ridge, have my master's degree in hospital and health administration, but I went to both UC and Xavier. I'm so excited about tonight, and it's an opportunity to reconnect with folks, to let you know, to share some insight of what we've been doing, but then also focus on where we're headed as an organization and share with you some wonderful initiatives. But Joy, you had me on food. I love the theme of food because for me in my life, that's how I've connected with my friends and my family. And you know, food is so special that it's really the way that I show appreciation and love for my family and my friends. And I know some of you have been the recipient of some of my cookies or cupcakes. So food is where it's at.
Those are some delicious cupcakes. Yeah. So 1994. I can't believe it. That is a long time that you have been with ERS. And you know, as I've been going through this past year, I think about that and I've thought, what if we could go back in some kind of time warp and tell that 25-year-old intern, Laura, hey, someday you're going to be leading this organization through a 100-year global pandemic where older adults are at the most vulnerable. I wonder what you possibly would have thought.
Oh dear.
Well, I know what we think, and we're just so grateful that you have
you.
been at the helm of ERS. Thank you for everything you've done for all of us.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So Jimmy Wilson, you joined our servant leadership team back in March, which is a heck of a time to start any new job, let alone one as important as serving as the Vice President of Affordable Living.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Joy. It's been a great ride these 7 months, a great start. ERS is a wonderful, wonderful organization, and I'm very fortunate and blessed to sit in the seat that I sit in as Vice President over Affordable Living. I'm originally from Louisville. I moved to the Cincinnati area about 8 years ago. I've been in the affordable housing industry for all of my career, but most of it has been with senior housing. And so just so honored to serve in this capacity with ERS. I also serve as an assistant pastor at the New Prospect Church. And so, here with ERS, I'm looking forward to this evening of connecting with our sponsors, donors, and friends on this night of philanthropy. So thank you, Joy.
You and I have already had several opportunities to work together with some of our really wonderful donors, and we've been able to make some things possible for affordable living residents as a result. So I look forward to working more with you on that, and welcome to ERS.
Thank you very much.
So those of you who are Episcopalian or connected to the Diocese of Southern Ohio know that we are in the midst of a significant leadership transition. In 2020, Bishop Breidenthal and Dean Gail Greenwell of Christ Church Cathedral both retired. And so we are thrilled to be among the first to introduce to you the newly appointed, newly moved in Dean of Christ Church Cathedral, the very Reverend Owen C. Thompson. Dean Thompson, you are not exactly a stranger to Cincinnati, but it's been a while, and I wonder if you could tell us a little bit about yourself and also how you're approaching your new role as Dean here at Christ Church Cathedral.
Well, thank you, Joy and Laura and Jimmy, and to all of you out there for the gracious invitation to be a part of this wonderful event. I've just moved, I'm 3 weeks minted, price tag still on my shirt, and when I got the call to participate, I couldn't wait to jump in and be a part of something that's doing something wonderful in this community. And so yes, I am a bit of a prodigal son story, absent, loose living and squandered inheritance. But in the same way that the father of the story embraces the son, this city has embraced me. The cathedral family have embraced me and my family. But it's so good to be home after almost 30 or so years away, to be back in a place that just feels so familiar and so welcoming, a place that's ripe with possibility for building some wonderful bridges of communication and positive change and the like. And so my hope as the new dean is to just continue that legacy of serving and giving and being a part of wonderful coalitions that are just striving to build a beloved community, one day, one person, one moment at a time. So looking forward to the ride, and especially this evening, being with all of you.
Well, we're happy to have you, and you were sharing with me just a little bit ago that you have your own very personal connection to ERS as well. You said you'd be willing to share that with our guests.
Yes, thank you. My mother, my father, for those who know, was the bishop of the diocese, and my mother had taken ill back in 2002 and was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. And she spent her final days at Marjorie P. Lee, and I still to this day hold that place in high regard for the wonderful people and the pastoral care they gave to us, helping to shepherd her through that end phase of her journey, and then helping us shepherd us to new life and new possibility and hope. And I was in Hyde Park this morning getting coffee at Awakenings and looked over a couple of blocks knowing that that's where the place is. And there's always like a wonderful landmark in many ways. I don't have sad memories when I think of Marjorie P. Lee. It's just good memories of good people doing good work. So, yeah.
It was such an honor to serve you and your family.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. And I don't know if you know this, but Joy and I share part of that story. Both of our mothers passed away at Marjorie Lee as well. And I tell you, the Marjorie Lee nursing staff is just incredible.
Amen. Yeah.
If you have to go through that, which unfortunately that's part of life, I was so grateful to be among coworkers who I trust so much, who have become friends. So you're absolutely right. So Dean Thompson, you know that we're a faith-based organization, so before we go any further, would you please do us the honor of leading us in a blessing over tonight's event?
Certainly. So if you'll please pray with me as you're able and as you're comfortable. O living God of creation, we give you thanks for this night, for this blessed opportunity to gather both near and far, to give thanks in celebration for the life, the ministry, witness of ERS and all those other organizations that are committed to good works. Bless the works of our hands, that all that we build and do may bring us ever closer to your kingdom, your dream, Thank you for those faithful servants who have given of themselves that others may have, who emptied themselves that others may be made full. Guide us, strengthen us, and keep us till that day comes when we all gather around that river of celebration and new life and renewal. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we have a lot in store for us tonight, and Laura, this is a pretty big night for you. You're doing like double duty here. Not only are you part of our live broadcast, but you were one of our 3 chef contestants in the Great Gala Cook-Off. How are you feeling right now?
Well, like everyone else, Joy, I've not seen the final version. So being quite honest, I'm nervous and excited. I'm so nervous. I don't want to embarrass my family, but I'm excited to see how my culinary skills came off on camera. So.
Well, now I hear that one of the contestants is the diocese's very own, the collar-clad Jack Kepcke. Wise move, Jack, wearing that collar to influence those judges. Way to go, buddy. Got me out of a couple of parking tickets now and then. And there's also, we have the COO of the Greater Cincinnati Foundation, Dora Nim. What a great group of passionate, dedicated leaders, faithful leaders. So I'm excited for the night.
Me too, and really we are indeed so fortunate. We believe we've assembled truly an all-star ERS cast. And while the Great Gala Cook-Off is meant to be our entertainment for tonight, for all of you, we really put great care into weaving in stories of those we serve and mission moments throughout the Gala Cook-Off. We will also be sharing perspectives and insights into the last year and looking ahead, what some of our leaders are planning for the future of ERS. We'll be sharing stories of the older adults we serve and the impact that your gifts through philanthropy have on their lives and all of those who serve them. So, without further ado, let's get going with the world premiere of the Great Gala Cook-Off, brought to you by our friends at Cisco.
Awesome. Let's do it.
Woo!
Hello and welcome to the world premiere of the Great Gala Cook-Off. My name is Alicia Lee. I serve as the Director of Talent Acquisition for Episcopal Retirement Services, and I'm one of the hosts of today's competition.
And I'm Emerson Stambo, Executive Director of Hospitality Services for ERS, and I'm excited to also be a part of today's event as Alicia's co-host.
The Great Gala Cook-Off is part of this year's annual gala, A Taste of Giving, which we hope will raise nearly $250,000 for ERS's annual fund, the Good Samaritan Mission.
Alicia, we have 3 amazing and amateur chefs full of passion for the important work that we do in serving older adults. In just a few minutes, they'll go head-to-head in the kitchen. I wonder who's going to emerge as ERS top chef.
I don't know, but I cannot wait to see what they all do and how they handle the pressure. What I really love about today's competition is that our chefs will be challenged to not only incorporate specific ingredients into their dishes and judged by how well they taste, and for their presentation, they'll also be judged by how well they incorporate inspiration from the stories of older adults we serve into their dishes.
They'll need to keep a cool head and stay focused on their cooking, but they'll also have to put their heart and soul into it, and they only have 90 minutes to pull it off.
Well, let's meet our contestants and learn a little bit about them and their connection to ERS. First, we have ERS's President and CEO, Dora Nim. Laura started out as an intern at ERS 27 years ago, working her way through many different roles and responsibilities until she was named President and CEO in 2017. Little did she know that just 3 years later, she would be guiding ERS through a 100-year pandemic with older adults being the most vulnerable population. As the saying goes, that which does not break us makes us stronger. And this has definitely been the case for Laura, who is more committed than ever to enriching the lives of older adults. Laura is a champion of innovation in the field of senior living and services with a keen sense of the needs and desires of older adults in our community. With the mind of an entrepreneur and the heart of a caregiver, Laura is known for using food as a way to connect with people.
Next, we have Jack Kepcke, or more formally known as the Reverend John F. Kepcke III. Jack is a cradle Episcopalian. He was ordained as a deacon and priest in the Episcopal Diocese of Pittsburgh, and eventually found his way to Ohio when he was called to be the rector of St. Paul's Episcopal Church in Dayton. Appointed as the canon to the ordinary of the Diocese of Southern Ohio in 2011, he assumed the role as the bishop's representative on the ERS Board of Directors, and has continued in this capacity since retiring a few years ago. Jack's earliest memories in the kitchen are from the summer when he was but 7 or 8 years old. To keep her children busy, his mother had the brilliant idea that each child would be responsible for preparing a meal one night a week. She served as their sous chef. Together, they created memories that lasted a lifetime.
And finally, we have Dora Nim. Dora, a champion of philanthropy, is a CEO and creator of Cincinnati Foundation, our region's leading community foundation that believes change is sparked when people come together in partnership, collaboration, and generosity. The words "think big" are plastered to the wall of her office as a reminder to herself and others to get out of their comfort zone and not fear being the first to do something in order to pave the way for others. Born in Ghana as a daughter of a diplomat, Dora spent much of her childhood traveling the world. She settled in Cincinnati after attending the University of Cincinnati and marrying her husband. Together they have 4 children. She's excited that our city is emerging as a culinary mecca with many great food options that inspire her own cooking, which she hopes to earn her top shelf honor today.
At ERS, we firmly believe that we are at our best when we collaborate with other talented, dedicated, and passionate, like-minded partners. We are so fortunate to have literally hundreds of corporate partners, churches, and other organizations who share the core values that guide us.
Le Soup is a great example of such a partner, and we are so pleased to introduce Susie DeYoung, founder of Le Soup, as our great Gala cook-off celebrity judge. Chef Susie DeYoung started Le Soup in 2014 after a very successful 25-year career as a restaurateur and caterer. Le Soup is a nonprofit food rescue organization that bridges the gap between food waste and hunger. Le Soup's unique chef-driven rescue, transform, share model that Susie created gives chefs like herself the opportunity to bring their culinary talents for those experiencing food insecurity. The team at Le Soup creates highly nutritious, restaurant-quality, ready-to-eat food using food that is rescued from distributors all across Cincinnati, which Le Soup's 300-plus volunteers pick up every single day of the week. By rerouting quality food doomed for the dumpster to those experiencing food insecurity, thousands of pounds of food are kept out of landfills and people's lives are changed for the better. At the onset of COVID, both ERS and Le Soup were experiencing unique challenges that brought our 2 organizations together. We were struggling to find ways to get food to some of the older adults we serve, especially those living in our affordable living communities. Meanwhile, Le Soup was struggling to get food to those throughout the community who needed it urgently. They quickly launched the Community Kitchen Program, and ERS, along with Mita's Restaurant, were fortunate to have been invited to be their pilot partners.
We all know how hard hit the restaurant industry was by the pandemic, so this was a great way to support some of those restaurants that have been such a wonderful supporter of the community for so many years. Here's how it worked. Le Soup raised funds to pay restaurants to prepare meals. This helped them keep their doors open when the world shut down. 3 times a week for 9 months during the peak of the pandemic, ERS staff and volunteers would load up coolers at Mita's with 150 frozen meals and drive them to various affordable living communities. In total, over 11,400 meals were delivered to ERS residents.
Wow, that is amazing. And you know, Emerson, this was much more than just about the food. It was a reason to go door to door to our residents' apartments to check on them and chat for a few minutes. It helped remind them that they were not alone and that there were many of us that were out here who were thinking about them and who care about them.
You are so right. This was a time when our residents were feeling so isolated. During those friendly visits, sometimes our residents revealed other issues that they were struggling with. For instance, we had one person who their refrigerator had gone out, and one of our volunteers donated a brand new refrigerator to that resident.
That is really what ERS's person-centered philosophy is all about. We're about to take a quick break. Stay tuned as our chefs get ready to cook and see who can claim ERS's top chef honors.
Wow, things are really heating up in the kitchen. Only a handful of people really know who the winner is. I'm not one of them, so along with our viewers, I know all of us are eager to find out who the winner is.
Why are you looking at me? I'm sworn to secrecy, Jimmy, and I am going to have a poker face, not what I usually do, and not give anything away before Susie reveals the winner tonight.
Sure enough.
Well, I just want to say good luck, Laura, and regardless of win or lose, you know, we all can agree that ERS comes out the winner in this, and especially those adults that you all serve, so good luck.
Thank you.
So true. Did you know that our goal tonight from this event alone is to raise $250,000 for the Good Samaritan Mission, the annual fund of ERS. And this just would not be possible without all of our generous viewers watching tonight and our incredible sponsors, our corporate partners, church partners, and organizationals that support us all year round have really stepped forward with tremendous sponsorship. So I would like to thank our lead sponsors, our presenting sponsor, Ohio Capital Corporation for Housing, our master chef sponsors, Model Group, and Ridgestone Builders and Developers. Thank you so much. And if you at home would please take a minute to look at the print program or our sponsor list on our Gala website to help us recognize and appreciate all the sponsors who are contributing to our event this evening and our success. So last year's broadcast, it was our first virtual gala. We didn't know we would be here a second time, but here we are. But last year we were still having very limited interaction with really anyone outside of our immediate household. So most of the people watching at home were watching just with the people that they lived with in their homes. The vaccine is now widely available, and so people are starting to reunite, aren't they?
They really are. And I want to thank all of you for doing your part. You know, we have to remain vigilant. Jack Kepcke, my fellow contestant and dear friend, put it so well. He said, "We're done with COVID, but COVID's not done." And that is so true. So I just want to assure you that tonight's performance and entertainment, we are doing everything that we can. We're enjoying each other's company and seeing our faces because we're fully vaccinated, but behind the scenes, we're practicing all of our COVID guidelines, including wearing masks.
So as far as I can tell, there are about 15 to 20 small group watch parties going on out there in TV land. Our friends, volunteers, residents, staff, donors, we want to thank all of you for creating some safe, small events to be able to enjoy tonight's production in a little bit more of a social setting. I also want to particularly welcome our residents at Marjorie P. Lee and the Dupree House and Cottages. You all, I understand, are having your own parties within the communities. And did you know our dining services team actually prepared meals and desserts based on the recipes that some of our chefs, including Laura, made in tonight's show. So you might not have known what you were eating, but as you watch what she prepares, you will soon see why you were eating what you were eating.
Well, I want to see who's out there. I can't wait.
You know, I think that's the hardest part of being on this end of a virtual broadcast, is just not knowing who's out there and what you're doing and how you're enjoying this. So our plea to all of you is please take some pictures, some selfies and ussies, as Jimmy calls them, and send them in to us and let us know who you're watching with, how many people you're with, what are you doing to make this night special where you're watching. Whether there's 1 or 2 of you or 10 or 12 of you, we would love to see it. And as a little extra incentive, we will be awarding some prizes to some of those who send in photos to us. So please get those in.
And speaking of photos, we have some photos of some of our sponsors and donors who visited our affordable living community to kick it off at Madison Villa.
You know, that's becoming, I think, my favorite day of this whole virtual gala era. I love Party Pack Pickup Day. This is when our residents and staff and volunteers and donors all are together at the same time, which that really doesn't happen very often. And so we were distributing, our residents at Madison Villa, an affordable living community, were distributing these picnic baskets full of goodies and wine for our sponsors and those who contributed to the event in advance as our way of saying thank you. And, you know, if we were together, we would be serving food and drink. So our gift to all of you, I hope you're enjoying those, and thanks to our donors for swinging by.
I understand that my good colleague and friend, Father Phil Duvall, and the good people at Church of the Redeemer are partnering with the Madison Villa in their efforts to commit their work to helping Madisonville. And they're having I believe they're having a party tonight, a host party with the residents of the villa tonight, which is really cool. So hello, Phil. You owe me lunch. No, I owe you lunch.
It's all about food.
That's right. That's right.
So while we're taking this moment to really celebrate and reach out to everyone, both near and far, we have someone very special who has asked to share a message with you, our board chair of ERS, Tom Regan, who we have here to lead us in a toast.
Good evening. My name is Tom Regan, and I am proud to serve as the board chair for Episcopal Retirement Services. We gather here this evening in celebration of strength, compassion, and generosity. With the knowledge that life is becoming brighter for us day by day. It is because of generous donors like you and those who have come before that we are weathering the storm that is COVID-19. Tonight's Taste for Giving Gala benefits the annual fund of ERS, our Good Samaritan Mission Fund. I am honored to have the opportunity to toast you, generous friends and partners of ERS, for weathering alongside us and the older adults we serve through good times and bad. I raise my glass to you in remembrance of loved ones that we have lost over the past year, wishing good health for you and yours, wishing strength for all of our staff, residents, and their families, in gratitude for all of you who support ERS. Cheers to you, good evening, and God bless.
Cheers. 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 Cheers.
You know, every great nonprofit has an exceptional board behind them, helping them. And we're no different at ERS. I'm personally so thankful for our volunteer leadership because they are a group of very capable, committed, and exceptional leaders in our community. And Tom, I know you and your family are out there watching, and I just want to personally thank you for leading us in that beautiful toast.
So, okay, isn't it time to get back to the cook-off? Now we know who the competitors are. I'm anxious to get this thing started, so let's get back to it.
All right, you asked for it. Let's go ahead. Brian, take us into part 2, the inspiration segment of the Great Gala Cook-Off.
Welcome back to ERS Great Gala Cook-Off. I'm your co-host, Emerson Stambo, along with Alicia Lee. We'd like to welcome you to the Learning Kitchen in Westchester, Ohio, where our chefs will face off to see who will earn top chef honors.
Welcome, chef contestants Laura, Jack, and Dora. Today's competition will require you to think quickly and creatively, incorporating your cooking skills along with your passion for ERS into one dish of your choice. First course, salad, entree, and dessert. You'll each have 90 minutes to prepare your dish. Then you present to our celebrity judge, Susie DeYoung. You'll be judged on 3 criteria: taste, presentation, and how well you incorporate the inspired ingredients by the stories of the older adults served by ERS through the Good Samaritan Mission Fund.
Chefs, before we get started, we have some stories from across ERS to help inspire you. Frankly, all of us. Listen to their stories carefully and watch closely, because any food item you hear about or see can serve as your inspiration ingredient. Keep in mind that when you present your dish at the end of today's competition to the celebrity judge, Susie, you will need to explain what moved you to choose that particular ingredient you built your dish around. Let's get started with our first video featuring residents, staff, and volunteers in affordable living by ERS.
Affordable Living by ERS has communities in Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana. We think of the ERS difference as being the supports and services that we provide to allow residents to live independently for as long as possible. As we all know, the coronavirus pandemic was really challenging for everyone, but especially for our residents.
The pandemic was a time for those of us who work in activities to get creative and think totally outside the box, because our job is to get people out of their apartments. Our job changed. We wanted them to stay in their apartments. We learned more about COVID and we were able to do more. Then we started providing food at their doors, especially during the pandemic. The food needed to be delivered or have two extra ingredients, I should say, and that would be love and prayer. When we came to their doors, we came with love, we came with joy, we came with smiles, because a lot of them suffering from fear and anxiety, all the unknowns.
And a lot of the residents here don't have family connections. They're all alone.
So we were there to bring the food to them and bring it with love, bring it with our prayers, and bring it with joy.
For residents to thrive, they must not only be supported, but also be active.
The coffee hour, it gives the residents a chance to come out every morning and socialize, get together. We have a great time every morning. And it gives the residents a chance to come out and not feel so isolated.
Food is a great way to connect. The residents sit together, they are talking, conversing, connecting with one another. We bring volunteers in. We've even had grill outs where volunteers come and they grill out and then they come in and serve, connect with our residents.
The community gardens offer them a place to get outside together and to use their talents. Many residents have gardened their whole lives, and the vegetables they grow, they love to share with their neighbors. Another thing that we have done and we continue to do through the pandemic was have free store food bank produce trucks.
Especially in the spring and the fall, they have the potatoes and squash and carrots. They also have leafy vegetables like collard greens and spinach and those type of things.
You know, with the help of God and the help of each other, we're going to get through this. I really believe that.
You know, having been gone from Cincinnati for so long, I'm just learning it once again about ERS and its impact. And I love Joanne's recipe for success. You take some food, you throw in a dash of joy, mix it with a little bit of prayer, and then you stir it up with a bunch of love. And it's just really evident that you have an amazing staff of dedicated, compassionate people under your charge.
Well, thank you, Dean Thompson. I appreciate hearing that, and I agree. My first few months being with the organization, I took time to become acquainted with our team and our communities. I visited all 29 of our communities across 3 states, and we have a wonderful, wonderful team. And what has struck me is that it's not just a job, but it's a calling. It's a ministry of serving our elders. And I am very privileged to have inherited a very fabulous team. And so kudos to our hiring managers, our human resources team for doing a great job in hiring such a very fine staff.
It's something to be proud of, isn't it, Jimmy?
Yes, it is.
I tell you. You know, we were awarded the top workplace 12 years running this year. And you know what makes that so special to me is that it's 100% based on feedback from our staff.
So congratulations first and foremost to you for that. And I do want to know, what is your secret for success so that I can mimic that at the cathedral?
Of course, of course. Well, you've probably heard a phrase, culture eats strategy for breakfast. And ERS, although we have a top-notch strategic planning process, I believe it's our culture that is paramount. You know, it's really having a heart to serve elders. And that's what's really made ERS so special, in my opinion. We have a well thought out core values and ways of working. And it's the ways of working that really guide how we interact as staff, how we interact with our residents, our families, and, you know, all constituents.
That's refreshing to hear because, you know, we know that many staff aren't appreciated these days, hence the worker shortage amongst many in service industries. So it's good to know that your staff is the backbone of your organization.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, we are not alone. All employers, all industries right now are struggling with the labor market. That's not a surprise to anyone. It's a challenge. And in our organization, where we're really struggling, Jimmy knows this, is at that direct point with our residents, the positions that impact our residents. Our dining, our maintenance, our housekeeping, our nurses, that's really been the struggle. And you know what? We have to do more to engage younger folks to choose aging services as a profession. We try to do that. We strive to be a diverse and inclusive organization and bring people in and show them the passion for serving older adults. But sadly, aging services leadership is not diverse at all across our country. So we look for those, like I said, that have a heart to serve elders. And then in the words of Joan Wetzel, we lean in and we love on people and we help them grow and develop, and we care just as much about what they do at work as their whole life. I think that's what makes us special.
Amen. No, it's readily evident through the video that we just watched that your staff is dedicated and they truly care about those elders in your charge. So I just, kudos.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, culture is definitely, I think, the primary reason that those of us who love working at ERS is because we love the culture here. But you talked about the strategic planning process and how important that is in ERS's success as well. And even though COVID has knocked us for a loop and we've had to spend so much of our energy addressing COVID-related issues, we've really made quite a bit of progress on some of our strategic planning initiatives that have been underway for quite some time and are coming up with some new ones. Can you give us a little insight into that?
Absolutely, I'd love to. You know, I credit an amazing strategic planning process that enabled us to move forward during the pandemic. Job one was absolutely COVID. You know, we had to protect our residents. And specifically the residents that were the most vulnerable. And we call that protect the core. You know, our Marjorie Lee residents, our Dupree House and Cottages, and the Episcopal Church Home that are the most vulnerable. We all know that COVID has wreaked havoc in this world, right? It has. You know, you look at supply chain interruptions, you look at the labor market that we just talked about, the cost of goods and services. It's impacted every aspect of our life. And it's really challenged ERS because we're a mid-sized company and we have to compete with incentives and pay increases of large companies. Mm-hmm. And the backdrop has been safety of our residents. And that has to be first and foremost. And I'm very pleased to say we've learned to do things differently because of COVID.
So I've been amazed at all these things that we've had to focus on that we weren't really having to focus on to that degree before. But then meanwhile, we have some really exciting construction projects under the way. Just like a few years ago when we completed this complete renovation of our Marjorie P. Lee community in Cincinnati, it's Episcopal Church Home in Louisville's turn. So they are currently undergoing quite a transformation to meet the current and future needs of residents down there. How's that coming along?
It's going amazingly well, I have to say. It's been a bright spot in all of this. You know, Episcopal Church Home is a community that has served elders for more than a century. It's a wonderful community, and I'm so happy to say to you that the Morton House, from our primary benefactor, the first benefactor, we named the Morton House after John Morton, and it's now home to elders in our skilled nursing that have memory support and long-term skilled nursing needs. We also were able to complete the renovation and construction of our new dining venue. We call it Grill 75, and I'm telling you, I cannot wait to see how our chef and our staff just impress our residents and family members with their culinary delights. That's not enough, we've got more. So we also constructed 3 model homes in Episcopal Church Home, and those model homes are beautiful. They're designed specifically for elders. They are spacious floor plans, and they've just got wonderful amenities. One more thing, we've started the construction of our personal care building, and we will be constructing about 23 additional patio homes this fall and early into next year. So there's been a lot going on.
Mm-hmm. And those pictures are really beautiful, really beautiful. And you know, you might need to take another breath because there's more construction that's been going on, right? And we've got about a year under our belt now of our pilot community in Perrysburg, Ohio, River's Edge, which is a new endeavor to address middle market living for older adults. New for Cincinnati, new for ERS. Can you explain what those communities are like and what middle market means?
I'd love to, because this is really personal for me. So middle market, you know, we historically at ERS have served a broad spectrum of socioeconomic, but primarily our retirement communities serve the wealthy, and our affordable living serve those in need. And unfortunately, you may be surprised that the largest segment of older adults in our country is actually in the middle, hence middle market. They have too many resources for affordable living, Jimmy, but not enough for Marjorie Lee and Dupree and Episcopal Church Home. So ERS is innovative, and we have figured out and have a pilot that we've created a design that's financially viable not only for the elders but for the organization. And we're very excited about that. We have learned so much in our pilot, so much so our board approved the second pilot in Batavia, Ohio, which is on the east side of Cincinnati, a little bit closer to home, where we're going to take all of our learnings from River's Edge and put them into a project here closer to home.
Well, really exciting, and I love the way we have looked to both our retirement communities and affordable living to see how we provide services there to really come up with the formula that financially and programmatically allows older adults to thrive in that middle market. So congrats on that. Jimmy, many people watching today are particular champions of affordable living. And last year's virtual gala, we showcased affordable living by telling the incredible story of the historic Manse Hotel in Walnut Hills, which we have been transforming into apartments for seniors. Yeah. I'm sure they like an update on what's going on over there.
And it just so happens that just last week we had the ribbon cutting for the Manse. It is a spectacular building. It completely exceeded our expectations. Just a fabulous building. It was very costly to renovate, very, very costly, and we appreciate all of our funders that helped us make the building possible. But it was costly because of the dilapidated condition that it was in, also it being on the historic register that it needed to be on because of the historic nature of what happened there. it being a hotel in its past. And so we're very thankful for all of the sponsors and donors who contributed to help us make this affordable living community a very important community that we're proud of. It has all of the amenities that are hallmarks of affordable living by ERS. So we're very excited about it.
We are. It's a wonderful community, and it's pretty much finished. It's up and running. It's nearly full. So what's next? What do you have going on right now?
We've got a lot more going on down in northern Kentucky, in a little town called Florence. We have Shepherd Ridge Apartments. It's a senior community that provides senior housing for the elders there. It's a wonderful community there, and we're excited. The model group has done a wonderful job in helping us build and develop that community. In addition, we're developing properties in Wilmington and Blanchester, those rural communities, renovating those existing structures. In New Carlisle, Sunrise Terrace, Rachel Court, two communities that we've renovated and are doing our opening now, renting the apartments now. Very recently, we had the Rotary Club come and visit those communities, and members of the Rotary Club were board members of the original funders and founders of the organization. And one of the board members commented to me how when ERS first approached them to renovate the communities, at first they didn't believe us. They thought it was too good to be true. And it was just amazing that they saw this renovated community. It's a great affirmation of the great work that we're doing, and just so excited to kind of hear those kind of comments. And when I think about the work there, the work in Blanchester and Wilmington, when people's living conditions improve, behaviors and attitudes improve as well. So ERS, I'm very proud to be a part of this wonderful organization and the great ministry and work that we're doing for our elders.
That's a lot of projects you've got going on right now.
Yes, we've been quite busy in recent years. We have a lot of activity that we've been engaged with. And so here lately, we're going to take a much more, take a deep breath right now, take a much more deliberate approach to our growth. And we want to make sure that we can provide quality housing and services and have the resources we need to provide the housing and services for our elders. And so we're kind of taking our breath now, taking a much more slower pace and being much more strategic in how we develop and where we grow.
Well, great job to you and your team, and I'm really excited to see where affordable living goes under your new leadership.
Thank you.
So no part of ERS has been more directly impacted by this theme of food than our Meals on Wheels program. And what a year they've had, huh?
Oh, Joy, it has been. It seems like overnight we doubled in size of our Meals on Wheels operation. And what happened in that is, the Meals on Wheels program could no longer be in that location that we had. So here comes philanthropy, and thank you, Joy, for helping match donors with our needs. So we were able, during the pandemic, to move the operations of Meals on Wheels because we had outgrown the space to a customized location that has allowed us to work so much more efficiently, not just for the staff, but for our volunteer drivers as well. What a difference that has made.
It's an amazing new space, and just to see how easy it is for the staff and the volunteers to come in and pick up the meals and deliver them has just been incredible. And I just got some breaking news actually earlier today that we have received a $50,000 grant to purchase a new truck for Meals on Wheels deliveries, which was very much needed.
Nice.
So philanthropy in real time right here.
That's exciting.
Well, Laura, Jimmy, thank you so much for reflecting on the past year with all of us, for sharing your insights into the strategic process that is really part of ERS's overall success. I'm sure everyone, myself included, learned something new about ERS and is excited for the future and proud of how we've made it through this past year. So thank you both.
Thank you.
I think it's time to check back in to the great Gala cookbook. Yeah. So when we left off, I think the three chefs were being inspired by the video in our affordable living community. So they have one more video to watch to get more inspiration so they can prepare their dishes in hopes of becoming top chef. So this one takes place in our Dupree House community. So let's join in and watch that with them, and then we're gonna go directly to the competition segment so we can see what Laura, Dora, and Jack come up with as their inspiration to try to win the top chef honors.
The pandemic was a very tough time for a lot of us. We couldn't see our families, we couldn't hug anybody, and we felt at risk, but not nearly as much so as if we were living independently in our own homes. I can't say enough about the whole staff, and I think the maintenance, everybody was so patient and so kind to us. We were all really not happy about our hair. And we all grew out white. But the one day I was walking past Ginny Tars and I said, Jenny, my hair is terrible. She said, come on in and I'll cut it for you. And she really did a good job. So you weren't really expecting the staff to take care of the beauty shop too. Well, I was getting very restless and I was just going buggy. Well, everything, all the groceries, all the medications, everything had to come in the front door. I found out that the staff was ordering groceries for people, helping them put orders in. So from then on, we helped deliver groceries, we helped deliver the drugstore, we helped anything. It really gave me a purpose every day to get up, know I was needed, and so this is what we did for 15 months.
Well, it was sort of an unusual time and couldn't do for yourself what you always did. Like that's one of the problems with growing old. When I gave up my driver's license a year ago, I suddenly became dependent on others. Mary brought them down, unloaded them, and I stuck them on the shelf or in the reefer or whatever. It was always nice to know that it was being taken care of. That was a really nice part.
We were glad that there were staff members here that we were familiar with, that we knew would take good care of him when we couldn't get in to see him.
Wonderful young man, brought groceries from Kroger. And Jake and I became buddies, long distance. I mean, he would bring the groceries and I would take them. So we laughed a lot. I mean, he really became a friend. And I had told him right at the end, I said, Jake, the only thing I want for Christmas is a ride in your wonderful Jeep. It was a special time, and in many respects, as a family here, all of us, we became closer because we didn't have any outside influence. So we truly became a family. Now that we are all vaccinated, 100% here at Dupree, finally, Christmas is going to come early. I'm going to have a ride in Jake's Jeep.
All right, chefs, you have your inspiration. You'll have 90 minutes to put all of your talent and passion into creating a dish that celebrity judge Susie DeYoung, founder of our partner Le Soup, will evaluate to determine which of you will earn top ERS chef honors based on your taste, presentation, and use of the inspiration ingredients. Ready, set, go!
Starting to smell good back there.
It certainly is.
What are we making? Do you know? Anybody have an idea?
I don't know. We've got Jack doing something with watermelon.
Nothing says summer like a fresh watermelon.
Absolutely.
I smell butter.
Yes. Laura's chopping some chocolate.
Yeah, I see garlic and chocolate in that mise en place. There's something exciting going on over there, but I don't know what.
I hope so.
Okay, Dora. What do we have going on here? Everything looks so good.
Hi, I've got a lot going on. I'm actually preparing a 3-course meal, and I'm starting with my dessert.
3 courses in 90 minutes?
Correct.
You are one brave woman, let me tell you.
So I'm just starting prepping my dessert. It's gonna be a bread pudding, so it needs to sit for about half an hour to 45 minutes. Bread pudding, for some reason, is like comfort dessert. My family loves it, and you don't find it enough on menus, so every chance I get, I try to put together bread pudding. So I just made a stovetop bread pudding.
Okay, let's motor on. See what's going on over here with Miss Laura Lamb.
Hey, Emerson.
Hey, what we got going on?
Well, I took the challenge of using this suddenly salad.
Okay.
So I've got my cupcakes in the oven already.
Cupcakes. What
Yeah.
flavor? Let me guess. Chocolate?
Well, yes, Dove chocolate to be specific.
Dove chocolate?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
You're making me nervous standing there. It's not uncommon for me to surprise somebody with their favorite cupcake or their favorite food treat, just to let them know that they're seen and I care about them and to keep marching on with us.
Well, Laura's obviously in a good shape over here. She knows what she's doing. So I'm gonna motor on down to Jack and see where we are with this watermelon. I see we've got a cut up watermelon.
We do.
We have lime in here, right?
Right, little lime, little olive oil for a little lime vinaigrette.
Lime vinaigrette,
Right.
okay.
And,
Wonderful.
and we'll put a little mint on there and some feta cheese, and that's going to be a nice little salad to accompany what I'm going to make for the main course.
That sounds great.
Well, I'm hoping that that the judges will see their way clear to award me the top chef or the top dog thing. But you know, if that doesn't happen, one could argue the judges may have made a mistake. I'm not sure.
So Dora, what are we making here?
So I just finished prepping my bread pudding that's in the fridge for about a half an hour. Yep. Now I'm going to start with my meat. So I'm going to have braised pork shoulder with a toasted rice.
Toasted rice.
Yes, with nice gravy and glazed carrots to go with that. And I'm going to start on my bonus meal, which is really a soup. I was telling Emerson I was inspired by the residents of the affordable living who have a community garden. And so the carrots that I'll be using and the potatoes and the kale are all items that could be grown in a garden and you could use in any meal at home. So fairly affordable, easy, accessible, but very tasty. I consider food the universal language. It's the language of love, care, and it brings everyone together. And from a very young age, I've been very passionate about the opportunity you have to put different flavors together and the emotion that it evokes in people when they come together around a meal.
And what are we making here? Something with grapefruit?
I am. So I like Dora. I heard she was an overachiever. So she's doing 3, so I'm doing 3 items.
Whoa, a little competition. Okay.
So the oranges and the grapefruit were on my friend Pearson Davis's list. He would get click list every week, and he always got his oranges and grapefruit. So I thought I'd make a citrus salad with the lettuce that he liked. And then I'm
Okay.
gonna make a little vinaigrette. All my dishes were inspired by Pearson's click list. And I think the fun thing about the click list is it really showed our residents that they didn't have necessarily control over what they were receiving from the grocery store, but it was really fun to watch them kind of improvise and get creative in terms of what they were given. Pearson is a wonderful man, and I've known him even before he's moved in. He's got a passion for our organization. He's supported affordable housing in the community through his church. And when I saw his click list, I said, I'm going to use as many items on his list as I could. So.
Okay, Jack, we've got corn.
We have corn, and we're going to have veggies like you've never seen.
I can't wait.
This is all a celebration of the garden, the community garden. So.
And that was your inspiration.
The garden was the inspiration. The garden is the star. I'm just going to provide a little stage for this garden to talk. Most ERS places have a community garden of some kind, but the way that community garden was structured and operates is different. Nobody has their own plot. Everybody's plot is there. And so what I thought was just amazing and so community life-giving in so many ways is that people in the community come and take from the garden what they needed or what they wanted for the day.
Okay, so your inspiration.
Yeah, my inspiration is all about, a lot of the residents in our affordable living are low income. So they don't have a lot of resources and wealth. And what we're trying to do here is to say, if you don't need to have a lot of money to cook a really great, amazing gourmet meal. And so all these ingredients are really low, affordable, and available anywhere. But we're going to just elevate them in terms of flavor and taste. So folks can have that at home.
Oh my gosh, Dora is a strategist. I was intimidated by having her as a contestant because she's so smart and so strategic, and I thought she is just gonna blow me out of the water. So I was intimidated, to say the least. Jack with the collar, give me a break. I mean, he's always referencing his collar and God, and
So I'm excited. There's a lot of action happening right now.
Yeah, this is so exciting. I wish everybody in the audience could smell what we're smelling right now.
Yes.
It smells delicious. Laura just accused us of sabotaging her by stealing her mixing bowl, but we found it.
There's definitely competition between these three. I can see it in their eyes.
Absolutely.
They're so intent upon what's going on that one time I caught Dora glancing over as if she thought, I've got to up my game.
I did hear Laura say since Dora was doing 3, she was doing 3
She
dishes.
totally upped her
So,
game.
yeah.
She's got a beautiful soup. She's trying to win over somebody. I don't know who
But
that
then
would be.
But then we got Jack over here in the corner just acting all calm, cool, and collected.
Exactly.
But I thought I saw a bead of sweat on his forehead.
I
earlier.
did too. Well, I did learn from Dora that she's making some pretty fancy pork chops with some toasted rice. It sounded really complicated, but she said that that was part of her inspiration is because it's for our affordable living communities, you don't have to have a lot of money to make a beautiful dish, which I thought was absolutely amazing.
And that's the part that I love about this whole thing, is that it hits so many of the same notes as the mission of La Soup. And that we can really see that the people that are serving on your board are also living the mission in their kitchen work. So it's really, really a great symmetry.
Yeah, we're definitely a like-minded group of folks here.
I would say so. And then Jack's trying to win everybody over with the smell of bacon.
Everything's
Nothing
better
smells
with bacon.
better than bacon. The little swirly gig. Look at this girl go.
Okay, so Laura, we know she's moonlighting
She's
as a
been,
pastry
I was just
chef.
going to say, I think she's got Martha Stewart on the brain.
Emerson, how many cupcakes a year do you think I make?
Oh my gosh, dozen upon dozen cupcakes.
Now, Dora, your sauce, what kind of sauce are you making?
It is a shallot and garlic sauce reduced with some white wine and just salt and pepper, a little bit of mustard, a little bit of Worcestershire sauce.
Now, how hard is it working this induction top?
Tricky. It's tricky. It keeps turning off when the pans touch, so I have to make sure my pans don't come into contact. But otherwise, it's working out really great.
All right, so you think you're going to be able to finish your dish?
Yeah, we're
with
winding down.
What do you have going in the bowl there?
Which one?
Or in the whatever we call that.
This
wok.
is
Yeah,
this
I guess.
is sausage for my soup.
Okay.
Yep. I'm just gonna finish the soup with a little sausage and kale, and it'll be ready to go.
Oh, awesome. Well, we're running low on time. You think they're going to be able to finish 3 courses?
Chop, 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 chop.
I don't know.
3 courses in 90 minutes?
It's going to be time to plate before you know it.
It really is.
I was in absolute complete panic. So that's the moment where the clock really was my biggest enemy as I started to reflect and think, oh, I'm making a 3-course meal in this short period of time and it's all catching up to me.
I think what's going to set the amateurs away from the professionals is the garnish.
Ah, the plating.
Yes. How it's plated, how it's garnished. Because after all, we eat with our eyes first.
That's absolutely true.
Absolutely true.
Okay, chefs, you have 1 minute left before it's over. 60 seconds.
Okay. Oh. We got this, guys.
Are you going to have your chicken ready in time?
I hope so. The chicken's ready. It needs to rest. It's napping right now.
It's
so can you be
napping.
quiet, please?
That's
so
going to
napping.
be the fastest nap ever.
Well, when they said they had a minute or 30 seconds left, everything was ready to go except the chicken. And I was hoping the oven and the chicken would come to some kind of a mutual agreement fairly quickly so that it would be done so that I could slice it and get it ready to go.
Looks like Laura's plating her salad. Miss Dora's getting, I'm not sure. All right. Guys, we have 30 seconds left till the competition is over. Just 30 seconds.
Ah! Oh my God! What was that, Jack?
The chicken.
I'm a chicken now?
No, you're not a chicken. I'm working with a chicken, and I just woke it up from its nap.
Oh. There was this torrential downpour, and I was really worried because when you make cupcakes, it's really sensitive, your buttercream, is sensitive to humidity. So that was a real thing that we couldn't control.
I wonder if Dora's rice is gonna be done.
And Jack's chicken, is it done with its nap? It's been resting forever.
Oh my gosh, that bread pudding looks amazing.
It sure does.
All right, chefs, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, time's up, hands up, step away from the kitchen. Great job, everybody.
Welcome back to the ERS Taste for Giving Gala. ERS would like to recognize our top sponsors for this event. Thanks to Ohio Capital Corporation for Housing. OCCH is a multi-state, nonprofit financial intermediary that works with private and public developers to create affordable housing opportunities through equity and debt. Since 1989, OCCH has invested more than $5 billion in the construction, rehabilitation, and preservation of affordable housing. The Model Group. The Model Group is an integrated property development, construction, and management company with a mission to positively transform communities and a passion for revitalizing urban neighborhoods. Ridgestone Builders and Contractors. Ridgestone brings many interests under one roof. With over 60 years of combined experience in the building industry, Ridgestone prides themselves on being a premier building and land development entity. One team, one vision, one mission, Ridgestone. ERS would like to thank Bromwell's for hosting our 2021 Taste for Giving Gala. For over 200 years, Bromwell's has been the source Cincinnati looks to for expert fireplace design and installation. Their world-class showroom has a curated selection of gas fireplaces, outdoor grills, fireplace mantles, wood stoves, and fireplace accessories from top brands. For more information, visit bromwells.com.
Well, here we are back again. Welcome back. We're feeling pretty warm and cozy here in Bromwells. I feel like it's finally starting to feel like fall as we're sitting here at this table, and I'm sure all of you feel the same way. I really am looking forward to the holidays and gathering around the table with some of those we weren't able to be with last year. So exciting time as we head into that season. So when we originally conceived this concept of the Great Gala Cook-Off, it was just an idea. We didn't know what we were doing. We didn't know who our contestants were going to be, our hosts, our judges. We've been touting this all-star ERS cast, and I have to say, I hope you feel the same way. We really believe that cast is truly an all-star ERS cast, not just in their willingness to fling themselves out of their comfort zone to be part of a television production, but in the work that they do each and every day to serve older adults and in the community. So I want to thank all of our participants in the Great Gala Cook-Off.
Indeed. I agree. I mean, it's just shining right through that everyone is really truly into this, and it's so evident, and I'm excited for the results. Can't wait.
It's kind of hard to watch without being able to try the dishes. I tell you, it's really amazing.
I know. It's about 8 o'clock. I'm getting kind of hungry, and my mouth is watering, so I agree. Now, Laura, you are doing a very good job with your poker face. I don't think anybody knows if you or Dora or Jack will emerge as our top chef.
Well, my lips are sealed.
Well, Joy, I'm sure that our friends at ERS are watching tonight, are wondering how they can help to support this ongoing work of the Good Samaritan Mission. As St. Francis of Assisi said, it is more blessed to give than it is to receive, and then in giving we receive. So what are some of the ways that we can do that?
Oh, thank you for asking and bringing us back to that, because we're having so much fun here doing this, and I know everybody's anxious to see who is going to be our next top chef, but really, we all know the reason we are here tonight is philanthropy. And I said before, our goal is to raise over $250,000 tonight for the ERS Good Samaritan Mission. And we need your help, all of you out watching us. So we have a lot of different ways that you can help, fun ways. One of them is our silent auction. We have 3 different categories: getaways and experiences, treat yourself, and beverages and libations. All the bidding is online at erslife.org/gala. Many of you received a print program in the mail, and we highlighted some of the items, but there's many more in those categories. So check that out, but no need to rush off right now to do that. We will be keeping our auction open until 9:45 this evening to give you time to just relax and enjoy the rest of the show, see who our big winner is, and bid afterwards. Anybody got their eye on anything in particular in the auction?
I do. Jeff, you're out there, right? You're bidding on the dinner cruise against Jimmy. Get it. So Joanne and Gary Hagopian donated this, and Jeff and I were the lucky couple that were able to join the winners of last year. And I just have to tell you, that evening, Jimmy was magical.
Yes. Well, I'm also a big sports fan as well. And so we have a lot of good sports options for you sports enthusiasts. A behind-the-scenes tour of FC Cincinnati's TQL Stadium. 4 tickets in the 3rd row to the FC Cincinnati game against the Chicago Fire. A pair of tickets on the 50-yard line for the Bengals-Browns home game. 2 tickets to the October 30th OSU versus Penn State game. And then finally, 4 club seats for a weekday Reds game in 2022, which also includes unlimited food and non-alcoholic beverages. Way to go. Sweet deal.
We got all those Cincinnati sports teams covered, don't we?
I sure do.
Yeah. Well, the thing that I am going to encourage all of you out there to get into bidding war is something that I was able to do this past summer with my family. Chuck and Peggy Landis have very generously donated once again their beautiful cottage in northern Michigan. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath cottage in the Moyne Highlands Resort area. And you know, I know people from Cincinnati have been going to northern Michigan, this is near Harbor Springs and Petoskey, for years, generations. I have to say, after my week there, I totally get why everybody goes there every summer. It was the most relaxing vacation I have had in a beautiful cottage. So golfers, skiers, boaters, relaxers, you name it, it's perfect for you.
Awesome. Now, I'm intrigued by the Pay It Forward auction. Can you say what that means a little bit more, please?
The Pay It Forward auction is a bit of a twist, a philanthropic twist on our silent auction. So as you know, in a silent auction, people are bidding on items that they're going to enjoy themselves. The Pay It Forward auction is a way for them to purchase a service provided under the Good Samaritan Mission that's going to benefit a resident or maybe the staff who care for them. So, you know, I've talked about how we're raising $250,000 tonight, and sometimes it's difficult for donors to really get their arms around that. And they say to me, okay, you're raising $250,000, what's my $100 or $500 or $1,000 and $250,000 really gonna do? And I say, it's going to do a lot. And so the Pay It Forward auction is a way for them to go to the auction site and see things in affordable living, in Meals on Wheels, in the Center for Memory Support and Inclusion, in our Marjorie P. Lee Dupree House and Cottages communities, the kind of services that their donations at all levels will make possible in those communities.
Well, I do appreciate the opportunity for donors and sponsors to donate pantry packs to the residents in affordable living. But I'm wondering if you can explain the difference between a pantry pack and a party pack.
One letter makes a pretty big difference, doesn't it?
It does.
So party packs, we were talking about before. We distributed those. Many of you watching today are enjoying those picnic baskets full of goodies tonight as our thank you for supporting the event. Pantry packs, another thing. We've talked a lot about food. We've talked particularly about, you know better than anyone, affordable living residents often have great challenges in accessing food. Our friends at General Mills have donated over $5,000 worth of shelf-stable products. We will be putting together pantry packs of General Mills products and distributing them to affordable living residents after tonight's event. For every $100 donated tonight, no matter what area it's donated to, we'll be giving a pantry pack to a resident in the donor's honor.
Yes. Very nice. Thank you. Sweet deal.
We're so grateful to General Mills for recognizing that there should always be food on the shelf. So Laura, pantry packs. You were the only one who used the secret ingredient from one of the pantry packs in your that's got to earn you some bonus points with Susie.
Well, I would hope so. I mean, I don't know, but I really struggled to incorporate and was challenged to incorporate as many items in my items as Pearson had on the shopping list. But that suddenly salad, that was a challenge. I used the mix in the suddenly salad to add it to my panko bread crust. And you're right. I think I was the only one that did that.
I noticed. So use a seasoning packet, but knowing you, because we don't like to waste, no food waste here, I bet you saved that pasta for another day.
Of course I did.
Very resourceful.
Well, there's really something for everyone and to enjoy. And what I love is that at the same time, you can also do something meaningful and impactful for our older adults tonight.
Absolutely. Their support, your support to our residents and our staff and our families mean the world to us. We really appreciate it. But I have to tell you that this phone has been blowing up. People are texting me, expecting me to tell them who won. And I don't want that pressure. So I don't do this very often, but I am the CEO of Episcopal Retirement Services, and Brian Reynolds, VP of Marketing, is somewhere over there. And I'm telling you, I'm issuing a decree, Brian. Enough is enough. Take us to the final round, the decision-making round of the Great Gala Cook-Off.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment you have been waiting for, Chef Susie DeYoung's decision on who will be named ERS's first top chef.
All right, well, thank you for the opportunity to cook for you today. Normally in my business, my two ingredients are bread and wine. I was pleased to have the opportunity to do some other things with some other ingredients. This is a roasted chicken breast with a summer garden succotash, along with a watermelon with feta and mint salad to go with it.
Okay, that sounds good.
So you did the salad and the dessert as one.
Correct.
That's what I'm saying.
That's correct, yes.
Okay.
And part of the inspiration of this is, number one, I like working with lots of ingredients. And the second thing is, this is all from the garden. It's fresh. And that succotash could be anything, just what you pick today. And that's the fun part of this whole thing, so that's great. And so the other inspiration was Phil the griller, because if I were doing this at home, I'd be grilling that chicken with Phil, and maybe throw a brat on there too, just do whatever. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. You're welcome to try.
Right, can't wait to taste it.
Looks delicious.
Going in on the salad first, guys?
I'm the opposite. I'm going for succotash.
I'm going for dessert first.
I love the versatility of that.
Yes.
I think that gets extra points.
Feta and watermelon.
What did you season your chicken with?
The chicken is seasoned with some paprika, salt and pepper, a little onion powder, and oregano, and my secret ingredient, which is brown sugar.
Oh. I tasted sugar.
I thought you were going to say love.
No, well, that.
Well, today I've prepared for you an inspirational dinner based on our basket that we received from ClickList from one of our residents. So today I made an herb and orange panko crusted chicken breast with a light living lettuce salad with a citrus topping and a citrus dressing. Make sure you might want to identify what the crunch is on the salad.
I heard you say you had a secret ingredient.
Secret ingredient that was in the basket instead of croutons. Okay. And then, because I agree that no meal is complete without something sweet, I made a Dove dark chocolate cupcake with an orange buttercream frosting. And all three of my menu items have mayonnaise.
Can't wait to taste it.
And speaking of bonus points, the suddenly salad is in my item as well.
That's right. Okay.
And the plate is so colorful.
It
That's
is.
one of the things I like about it so much.
It's beautifully plated.
It's very summery look to it.
really good.
Lemony, citrusy, herby, crunchy.
Is your secret ingredient pretzels?
Pretzel loops.
Those are delicious.
Yeah. Very good. Thank you
Okay.
very much, Laura.
Yes, thank you, Laura. That was delicious.
So, good afternoon. Thank you for this opportunity, Chef Susie, Emerson, and Alicia. What I prepared today is a 3-course meal. I also had intended to have some glazed carrots with my main dish. So that would have added a pop of color and vegetables to my dish, but at the last minute after I plated, I realized I left my carrots off the plate. This entire meal really was inspired by the residents of the affordable living for that ERS is so wonderful in our community. We know that a lot of our seniors are going to be boomers, and our boomers are aging without savings, about 30% of them. So it's really important that we consider low budget meals so they can eat well with quality meals. And so that's what inspired this. So our first course is the soup. The second is toasted rice with a little bit of garlic and onion, with a reduced sauce and braised pork shoulder. And finally, no good meal ends without a sweet item. And so what I have for you is a bread pudding, stovetop cooked, with a vanilla sauce and a little bit of fresh strawberries and blueberries.
Oh, wonderful. Sounds awesome.
Okay, sounds delicious.
Sounds great.
Hope it tastes as good as it smells.
Yes. I love the fresh kale in here. Oh, that's good. That's really good. Right. That was some pretty
That
stiff
was
competition.
That was some incredible competition.
Very hard.
I do not envy the position you're in right
It was
now,
not an
Susie.
easy thing. It was very difficult.
Was it that close, that tight of a decision?
Well, it was looking at the 3 criterion.
Okay.
So taste, presentation, mission, looking at all inspiration from the mission.
So you got all those in there. You think in equal parts?
No, I kind of went in a couple different directions with your guys' help. So don't throw me under the bus here.
So what did you like most about
I learned from some of your guys.
So Dora's dish. Tell us a little bit what you thought about Dora's dish.
Incredibly perfectly seasoned. There wasn't a thing where I thought a little bit of acid, a little bit more heat. So all of that in that regard, taste-wise.
Her soup was amazing.
Amazing.
I could have eaten that nonstop.
Yeah.
And don't get me started on that skillet top bread pudding.
That's true.
That's delicious.
Yeah, very good stuff.
Laura was, I took the cupcakes home.
I think we all took the cupcakes home.
Yeah.
No trace of mayonnaise anywhere.
And the rest of the dish, visually just beautiful. I was looking at the knife skills, incredibly good knife skill.
And her salad?
Yes, her tiny little red onion, and everything was perfect in execution.
Nice.
I really like the ingenuity of using pretzels
Pretzels.
as the crunch in the salad
Absolutely.
instead of crouton.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Necessity's the mother of invention, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I thought they were walnuts at first.
Oh, wow.
At first, looking at them, I thought they were walnuts.
When she said I have a secret ingredient, I was kind of trying to peek, and I thought it was a nut too. I thought it was sunflower seeds. Though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Secret ingredient, I got nervous.
Now, what about Jack's?
Jack's,
Yeah.
I thought was absolutely beautiful.
It sure was.
Visually was just perfect. I was nervous for him using watermelon as, we discussed. I said the watermelon, if it was bad, what was going to happen? So a lot of times you cut into the stuff and it's yesterday's was so sweet, but this one wasn't. So he hit the jackpot because that was a darn good watermelon.
Yep.
And then with the salt of the feta and the lime on the chicken.
And the succotash was just beautiful.
It's
All
gorgeous.
those colors and vegetables. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Definitely the most colorful of all the dishes.
Absolutely, yes. There is no loser in this competition because they were all very, very well
So
done.
your mind is made up,
My mind
and
is
we
made
definitely
up.
have a winner.
Yep.
So, without further ado, I'm going to call the chefs up. Please come stand next to your plates.
Excited.
Oh my gosh, the tension is building.
Like I said, I was basing it on all the formality of who had the most beautiful presentation. Everybody's, surprisingly, I couldn't find anything wrong in the seasoning. And that's usually what I would expect. And did they hold to their inspiration? So without saying the two that had points knocked off, because they lacked in some of those regards, the winner is Chef Jack.
Woo!
We hate this. Why did I choose Jack? Because you have a collar on. Hello. I'm kidding. So your dish was perfect and presentation was gorgeous. Chicken was cooked perfectly and seasoned perfectly. Like I said, you took the gamble with the watermelon, but maybe in your line of work, somebody provided you with the perfect watermelon, perhaps.
I have several watermelons in the trunk right now.
Okay, so you were testing them as you
Exactly,
went. Okay, I didn't even see that. So, but overall, it was really beautiful, beautifully done.
Congratulations, Jack.
Thank you so very much. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well deserved.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Come on up, contestants. You guys did such a good job. Such a great job.
You guys did awesome stuff too. Awesome stuff too. So
Everybody did a great job. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think the idea that there are no losers is really important. And so we were having some fun, but we were cooking with each other. And we're cooking with each other for a really important cause, and that's important too. So what an honor it's been to do this with you all. What fun it's been. And God is good all the time. And so there we are. God is good. That's right. So good.
Good job, everybody.
I'd like to thank Jack, Dora, and Laura for participating in today's Great Gala Cook-Off Challenge. A big thanks to Le Soup's Susie DeYoung for serving as our celebrity judge. And thanks to all of you, friends and donors to ERS's Good Samaritan Mission Fund. Together, we're feeding the mind, body, and soul of thousands of older adults in a person-centered, innovative, and spiritually based way. If you'd like to learn more about how you can support the Good Samaritan Mission Fund and other needs of ERS, visit www.ersfoundation.org. On behalf of myself and my co-host Alicia Lee, thank you for joining us, and congratulations to our top chef and to all of our contestants. You're all winners in our eyes. Today's show is brought to you by Cisco, whose purpose is to connect the world, to share food, and care for one another. General Mills, for every $100 donated the night of the gala, a shelf-stable pantry pack will be delivered to an affordable living resident. There should always be food on the shelf.
And thanks to our location host, The Learning Kitchen, Cincinnati's premier cooking class destination. Their take on cooking is simple. It should be easy, fun, and delicious. Discover your inner chef at The Learning Kitchen, located in Westchester, Ohio.
Crazy, wasn't it?
So close.
Give that guy a crown along with that collar.
I was going to say, he did one, who said bread and wine's the only thing we got,
Oh my goodness.
All
Oh
right.
my goodness.
Good job, Jack.
Do you think
Good job, Dora and Laura. You all did a great job as well.
Oh,
Do you think that collar gave him a little leg up?
Hey, what can I say,
Oh, I know it did.
Water to wine.
Well, and I have to admit, I'm a little bit competitive as well, but that's really not what it's about, right? tonight is about coming together, you know? And we've learned that during the pandemic, haven't we? We've all had those moments where we've learned that there's more that we can accomplish together than individually. And that's really been the lesson and really the heart of what we're talking about tonight. And I just want to tell you that it's because of charitable donations like the ones the viewers have given us that we're not only able to weather the storm, but we're an organization that's moving forward, and it's because of you. And I believe that as donors, you need to know and realize how seriously we take your donations. We do. We are committed to being fiscally responsible, just not in the short term, but in the long term. That's what we are about with ERS. And I commit to you and assure you that we are here to protect our organizations, to protect our elders, to protect our staff, all of our residents, all of our constituents. You know, I've been at ERS for my entire professional career. And in many ways, I feel so lucky. I've had a front row seat to see the impact of philanthropy on the days and the lives of our residents. And that has been such a blessing, Joy. The other thing that I realize is that other organizations don't have what we have. They don't enjoy the success and the bringing together of our donors and the philanthropy of our organization like we do. And I see them across the country struggling, and we don't have to. So I'd like each of you to think about the impact of your gift tonight. I want to thank you for being so intentional with that. You know, when we come together, we all can be a part of something bigger than ourselves. We have the opportunity to not only protect, but improve and ultimately enrich the lives of older adults. That's what we're here about. And you know, we think about our individual gifts and we may say, this is all we can give. And that's great, because it's not about the individual. When we put all of our gifts together, we can be transformational. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, this brings our evening to a close. So on behalf of all of us here at the table and all of us at ERS, I want to thank you for tuning in tonight. I know it's a lot to ask to get on another Zoom, digital, virtual event on a Friday night. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts for being with us. I have some other thanks that I'd like to give out before we close. Thanks to my really incredible co-hosts, President CEO of ERS, Dora Nim, our new Vice President of Affordable Living, Jimmy Wilson. And Dean Thompson, you haven't even unpacked all of your boxes. I'm pretty sure when we asked you to do this, you really didn't know what we were asking you to do. And you just said, sure, whatever I can do to help. So we are thrilled you're here. Thanks for doing this with us.
Thank you for having me again, and look forward to our ongoing partnership and supporting you in any way we can. And where there's wine, I'll be there.
Okay, well, keep it flowing, keep it flowing. And thank you for accepting, on behalf of the entire diocese, our profound gratitude. 70 years of partnership and support. We would never be where we are today without the Diocese of Southern Ohio. So behind the scenes, Brian Reynolds, our Vice President of Marketing, you got to get up here.
Oh.
This is the guy who made this all happen. He and his marketing team, you did an incredible job. They're creative, talented, and can't thank all of you enough. And special thanks to Lotus Shark, who is our production crew that created the Great Gala Cook-Off and managed our production tonight as well.
Wonderful job, everybody.
Thanks to our all-star cast from the Great Gala Cook-Off, Laura, Dora, the top chef, Jack, our hosts, Emerson and Alicia, and celebrity judge, Susie DeYoung from La Soup. I know you have an event tomorrow night. Best of luck to you with your event. Thank you for being such an important part of ours. We are so lucky to be partnered with you and La Soup. Last, thanks again to our sponsors, our top sponsors, our presenting sponsor, Ohio Capital Corporation for Housing, our Master Chef sponsors, Model Group, the Ridgestone Builders and Developers, Our executive chef sponsor, PNC Bank, and our media sponsor, Cincinnati Magazine. And please go to our print program, our online Gala website, and take a look and appreciate and acknowledge all of our incredible sponsors and contributors tonight. They helped set us up for success, just like you. So remember, we may be signing off. The silent auction and the pay it forward auction will remain open until 9:45. So get on the website, erslife.org/gala. Plenty of time to bid, plenty of great things to have, plenty of great things to provide for our residents through the pay it forward auction. So I'd like to wish you all a wonderful evening, a wonderful weekend. And I want to remind you all, there is always room at the ERS table for you. And we wish you good night. Before you tune out, we have a little surprise for you. Just 2 more minutes, hang with us, and then go back to having your fun for the evening. Good night.
Good night.
My name is Dora Nim. I am the CFO. I'm sorry.
Are they cooled enough? Dora's rice.
Wow, look at those plates. Those look great.
Reset.
Oh.
That was the best one ever.
I know. We're not going to be able to do that again.
I got nothing left.
Okay, we can see that Jack means business. Why can we see it? Because he has his sleeves rolled up.
I got involved in ERS because I was appointed by the Bishop of Southern Ohio to a board seat on that group, and
What are people doing? All right, let's get that one again. I'm sorry.
they're messing with us.
I smell butter.
Yes, Laura's chopping some chocolate.
Okay. Excuse me, Alicia, I see something I've got to take care of. I think I see a bead of perspiration caused by the competition.
Yes. So I was intimidated, to say the least. Not to mention they're my bosses. Did anybody point that out?
Jack, can you feel the competition in the room? Is it heating up?
Oh yeah, it's heating up, just like this pan here. It's great. It's good.
Because after all, we eat with our eyes first. And Jack's chicken, is it done with its nap? It's been resting forever.
Let's see if we can get some fire from Laura then.
You want me to fire up on a priest? No. Yes, I know. I'm salty. I don't like to lose.